everyone, and welcome to another edition of the V Alert. For those joining us for the first time, V Alert simply stands for Veritas Alert, and on this platform, we will let you in on the happenings in the Catholic churches in the Archdiocese of Benin City. My name is Amachiko Sisochukwu.
And I'm Gloria Aigbefo. The Veritas newspaper remains the official newspaper of the Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City. And on this October edition 2023, we'll put you through the events that took place within the Archdiocese and beyond.
With me here is a copy of the Veritas newspaper, and you can get this in any Catholic church around you in the Archdiocese of Benin City, or you can head down to our office at number 34 Airport Road to get yours for just 200 naira. Before we get down to the business of the day, Gloria, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah, how have you been? How has Nigeria been treating you?
God has been fair and God has been good. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we all thank God for keeping us, making us survive all the hardships in this country. The major headline here says, extend your evangelization outreach to our youths. Philip Shaibu urges Catholic men. Extend your evangelization outreach to our youths. Philip Shaibu urges Catholic men. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Comrade Philip Shaibu, gave this charge recently at Blessed Tansi Catholic Church, shortly after he was honored as the pillar of CMON during the 2023 Sermon Evangelization Harvest and Award Ceremony. He was saddened by the void created by the absence of youths from pews during church services, and therefore emphasized on the need for the CMO to reach out to the youths for a massive evangelization drive. However, the thing is, I don't really think that the good old ways of evangelization still works. Do you think? Do you think, like, for youths, do you think that the good old ways of Paul and Silas walking around, preaching, shouting on the streets,
I think
for
so.
Youths,
they're still in practice. It's not totally eradicated.
It's still in practice, yes. But do you think it works really well for youths in this age, in this time?
It's actually better, and I think it's the Catholic Church is still making use of the church to do that. That it's not longer in use.
No, it's not abolished actually, but I personally do not think that for the youths, the youths now, I prefer social media, because that is where we spend most of our time. People even work on social media these days. So I prefer, if they can take the evangelization through social media, I think that's where they'll get majority of the youth anyway. If you want to read more about this, just go to page 3 of the Veritas newspaper.
Here's another captivating headline. Stakeholders deliberate on parish laity welfare as Benin City Archdiocese hosts national meeting. Stakeholders deliberate on parish laity welfare as Benin City Archdiocese hosts national meeting. It was a beautiful memory as late faithful as well as other stakeholders within the Catholic Laity Council of Nigeria, CLCN, gathered in the Archdiocese of Benin City for the 152nd National Executive Council NEC meeting. This event started with an opening mass at St. Paul Catholic Church, Airport Road, Benin City, and then the other program, they proceeded to Bishop Kelly Pastoral Center, where issues that bordered around the welfare of the parish laity were discussed. Representatives from the different organs of the church across the country were highly represented. The Dean of Benin City Deanery, Reverend Father Dr. Charles Omogiate, gave a lecture titled The Role of the Laity in Parish Welfare Apostolate. While giving his lecture, he called on all lay faithful to be at the forefront in promoting the economic well-being of every member of the society, regardless of the current economic challenges witnessed in the country. So this story starts from the front page of the Veritas newspaper, then proceeds to page 5 and page 50 to continue the story if you want to get more details of what took place.
And on page 3, we have why newly appointed parish priests take oath of office. Oyena 4. Why newly appointed parish priests take oaths of office. The Chancellor of the Archdiocese, Very Reverend Father Michael, disclosed this after the priest's oath-taking ceremony, which was held at the Archdiocesan Chancery Hall. He disclosed that the oath-taking has always been a practice to take an oath in the Catholic Church, especially when some assignment is to be given to some individuals because of the responsibilities that are attached to this assignment. He also emphasized that there was need for the priest to take an oath to be loyal, to be committed to the Archbishop, to be committed to his work, and to be committed to God. The focus of this oath taking, however, is the profession of faith, and that is what their work is geared towards. So I will just read out some names of priests who took this oath of office, some new parish priests. They include Very Reverend Father Dr. Charles Omogiate, who was transferred to St. Paul Airport Road. Reverend Father Daniel Iyamwe, St. Peter Catholic Church, Obo. Reverend Father Francis Ochonogo, Assumption Ute. Reverend Father Syracuse Onwuka, Sacred Heart Eworiara. Reverend Father Cornelius Amo, St. Molumba MMW. Reverend Father Alex Ugu, St. Raphael Otote. Reverend Father Dennis Bruno, St. Philip and James Owasota. Reverend Father Judora, Miraculous Infant Jesus Oka, and Reverend Father Alphonsus Ahiawe, St. Sebastian Ihebe. There are names of other priests, assistant priests, and others who were also transferred to various parishes, but you can also read up on that on page 3 of the Veritas newspaper.
And down to page 5 of the Veritas newspaper, we have 80 women solemnly admitted, empowered by our diocesan Christian mothers. 80 women solemnly admitted, empowered by Archdiocesan Christian mothers. Another memorable event took place recently at St. Anne Parish, S&T Military Barracks, Uselu, as over 80 mothers were inducted into the Confraternity of Christian Mother in the Archdiocese of Benin City. It started with an opening mass that was presided over by Reverend Father Captain Dominic Nicodemus. During the homily, Father Nicodemus enjoined the mothers to be diligent and committed to the objective of the confraternity. It is also very important for us to know that 10 mothers from different parishes were given financial assistance to improve their businesses. We like to hear good news. We say congratulations to the 80 women that were recently inducted into the Confraternity of Christian Mother, and we also wish success to those that were financially supported. So this story is on page 5 of the Veritas newspaper.
And on page 42, media gurus visit Fides Media, commend establishment. Media gurus visit Fides Media, commend establishment. To read on this story, go to page 42 of the Veritas newspaper.
Yes, now above the masthead, we have late Chinagu. He left behind the legacy of ideal priestly guide, Eno. Late Chinagu. He left behind the legacy of ideal priestly guide, Eno. You know, recently, one of the oldest priests in the Catholic Archdiocese of Benin State passed, and as such, the Archdiocese gathered at St. Paul Catholic Church for the Vigil Mass and Funeral Mass of the late Very Reverend Father Felix Owankwo Chinagu. As such, writes Reverend Monsignor Paul Eno, the parish priest of Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church, Ugbo, described the late Very Reverend Father Felix Owankwo Chinagu as a priest who was very committed to his priestly duties, adding that the legacy he left behind, especially to his younger nephew, Reverend Father Samuel Chinago, is that which is in line with the priestly guide of St. John Vianney. His father went on to say that his Monsignor Eno disclosed that the departed priest began his priestly work on the 22nd of March 1980. He has spent 43 years in the priesthood before his demise. He described the late priest as an obedient authority and that he will be remembered for his simplicity and availability. So we pray for the repose of soul of late Very Reverend Father Felix Owankwo Chinago.
Another one here says, Augustinian community intensify prayers as Tolling Parish Tabernacle is yet to be recovered. Augustinian community intensify prayers as Tolling Parish Tabernacle is yet to be recovered. If you recall, recently the Tabernacle hosting the Holy Eucharist was recently stolen from St. Augustine Parish on 17th of September, yes, around 3 a.m. Some thieves broke into the parish and carted away the tabernacle. But as at 9th of October 2023, the Archbishop of Benin City, His Grace Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Obiora Akubeze, has replaced the stolen tabernacle, even though prayers are still going on for the recovery of the lost one. To read more about this, just head on to page 6 of the Veritas newspaper.
And also on page 6 of the Veritas newspaper, you are a Catholic at heart and holy and Anglican externally. Omorogbe praises Ogie for St. Paul Madonna Center donation. We always like to say, when it comes to good news and that concerns the development, the growth of the Archdiocese, we don't hesitate to go about writing the story on our Veritas newspaper. So the immediate past parish priest of St. Paul Catholic Church and the former dean of Benin City Deanery, Very Reverend Father Edwin Omorogbe, has showered praises on the secretary to the Edo State government, Barrister Osarodion Ogie, for single-handedly constructing an ultra-modern McDonald event center for the parish, which is mostly for the use of the Holy Childhood Association in the parish. We really appreciate Barrister Osarodion Ogie for his generosity towards the Archdiocese of Benin City. May the good Lord continue to bless you. Amen.
And below the masthead, Akubeze to consecrated persons. Religious profession, not a visa to heaven, but one's choice of life. Religious profession, not a visa to heaven, but one's choice of life. Female religious and other consecrated persons have been reminded to imbibe the good virtues that will guarantee the gaining entrance into heaven rather than laying importance on the religious profession, which according to him is not a visa to heaven. He made this known while preaching his homily at a recent Eucharistic celebration of perpetual vows for 4 missionary sisters of Our Lady of Apostles, held at St. Paul Catholic Church, Airport Road, Benin City. He disclosed that the consecrated life is a life dedicated to God through chastity, poverty, and obedience. He also said that the primary goal of this life is to imitate Christ, who is the spouse of the religious. Also advising this consecrated female religious and other persons, he always advised them to always run to God, as he is the one who will be by their side whenever there is turbulence of any kind. To read more about this, go to page 7 of the Veritas newspaper.
Here is another captivating headline. St. Peter Ugbo gives rousing welcome to new parish priest Iyangbe, sent forth former assistant priest Ora. The story is on page 6 of the Veritas newspaper. It was more of mixed feelings with with sentiments of joy and sadness for parishioners of St. Peter Catholic Church, Second Ugbo, Benin City, as they welcome their new parish priest, Reverend Father Daniel Sayomore Iyangbe, simultaneously with the period when the former assistant parish priest of St. Peter, Reverend Father Jude Ora, was being sent forth. Reverend Father Alexander Joffor was also welcomed to the Basilica Parish by CWON, CYON, as well as other officials of the Laity Council. The Laity President, Mrs. Justina Odi, gave a welcome address, and it was really a wonderful celebration. And as such, the new parish priest of St. Peter Catholic Church, Reverend Father Daniel Yangbe, expresses gratitude to all who welcomed him and his assistant, Father Alex Ejiofor. So we say big congratulations to them both, and we wish them well in their new parishes.
And we have another one here on subsidy removal. Nigerian dying of hunger, Archbishop tells Tinubu. Nigerians dying of hunger, Archbishop tells Tinubu. The Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna, Most Reverend Dr. Matthew, has said that Nigerians are dying of hunger following the removal of fuel subsidy by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said that Mr. President should have put measures to cushion the effects of the subsidy instead of just throwing it out to the citizens just like that. He said that many Nigerians are dying of hunger, many have lost their businesses, and he also advised Nigerians to be hopeful and not to give up. Honestly, I don't know if we are still talking about subsidy, because it is clear that Mr. President is not going back on his words on this subsidy issue. So honestly, we are all trying to waddle our way through everything. I mean, today, I wanted to take transportation I wanted to enter a bus from House of Assembly to St. Paul. And the driver told me it was 300. I had to start walking. I had to start trekking. I had to find my way to St. Paul because I was not going to pay 300 naira from House of Assembly to St. Paul. That is how bad it is. So we just pray that the Lord will help us find our way through this hardship in this country. To read more about this, just go to page 9 of the Veritas newspaper.
And on page 51, Pope Francis, child sexual abuse concerns the entire society. Pope Francis, child sexual abuse concerns the entire society. The surge of child sexual abuse must be addressed by the society at large. The Pope wants emphasis to be placed on the training priests and religions for the protection of minors. It is a responsibility of everyone. In his address, the Holy Father associated the suffering of abused children and of all vulnerable persons to that of the suffering Christ. Just as the Church is trying as much as possible in addressing and eradicating child sexual abuse, the society should also work hand in hand to ensure that it is totally eradicated. Like, for example, when a child goes through this kind of sexual abuse, they don't remain the same again. So it is the responsibility of everyone. Parents and guardians should be on the lookout for their children, even those that are not your children. If you notice anything fishy, speak out. It might be the uncle, it might be the aunt, but just be on the lookout. Because most of these victims, most of these persons carrying out these wicked acts, they are those that fell victim of such acts in the previous, back then. So the thing is that it will continue if you don't put a stop to it, it will continue, because somebody that was molested at a tender age, we see that kind of act as a normal practice, and likely another person will fall victim. So we need to be on the lookout so that this child sexual abuse can be totally eradicated. We should be on the lookout. So our Holy Father is also speaking out on it. So you that are listening to me out there too, should try and be on the lookout for children, and both male and female out there. So the story is on page 51 of the Veritas newspaper.
So now we will head down to the editorial of the month. That is the October editorial on page 10 of the Veritas newspaper. Oh my God. Okay. Continuity should be part of good governance, not abandoned projects. Continuity should be part of good governance, not abandoned projects. Well, I like this topic because abandoned government projects are considered to be one of the serious problems affecting the development of Nigeria currently. Given the numbers and values of the projects involved. Here, in this article, it says that there are 56,000 abandoned projects in Nigeria. 56,000 abandoned projects. These abandoned projects, they range from road construction, real estate, water projects, dams, tunnels, airports, seaports. So many projects. They litter the whole of Nigeria, and it is very alarming. And this is not just particular, it is not peculiar to a particular reason. There are so many reasons pertaining this. And every year, promises are made, but these promises are to bring development to the country. The projects are funded, but at a certain point, they are funded, but at a certain point, you either hear that the contractors have absconded with the money, or you see that when they start this project, you just see these contractors, you see them at the site for a week or so, and some days, and then the next time, you don't see them anymore. Have you not noticed it? Especially in that Sapele Road. You see that Sapele Road? I think they started that road last year. Yes. Till now, the road is still in construction.
If we say they started the road, there was any, to me, I don't think there's any significant in the road. They just parked grind, big stones and put on the road. But the road is still bad, because I was staying there some years, as at early 2021, I was living with a friend, my girlfriend down there with her family, and I followed that road every day to work, to school when I was doing my program in Uniben. I take it, at least I go out like 3 times a day. In a week, 3 times in a week. The road is not good. When it rains, it's bad. So they still, I even passed there recently now when we went to that was Polycarp Parish, and it's still the same. If rain falls, it's bad. So there was not really any significant work done there, my sister. Let's nobody deceive you. There is no work done there. They parked, it's not granite, they call those big stones.
Yes, but they actually started something. They started something. They gave a contract to somebody to start the road. Yes.
I don't want to dive into it because this is politics and it's government related. I don't want to dive into what I don't really know. All I know is that when something starts, they try doing something, they started something, you will be seeing the result, Abby. That will make look and feel as if they are doing something on this road. Yes. But when the road is still bad, you know how many protests this year that were held on that road.
Election for Edo State is next year.
Yes.
That is what we are trying to say. Continuity. This road is not going to be, they are not going to finish it. Do you understand? Now, when the next governor comes in, depending on the kind of person we vote in, he might want to either continue the project, which the chances are really slim, or he might want to start his own pet project. Everybody wants to start their own pet. Nobody wants to continue where their predecessors left off. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that if the government officials can continue from where their predecessors left off, instead of trying to create their own programs, just I don't know, to siphon funds to them. So I don't know if the funds are to cover for votes buying or stuff, because there are corruptions in Nigeria, obviously.
Yes. So no, this editorial is quite an interesting one, Kosi. So it stated some of those things, like according to Abator, the president of the Nigeria Institute of Quantity Surveyor, said that most contracts fail in Nigeria due to poor cost estimation. There are causes of this thing happening. It's not just to aid continuity that is affecting it. He said because the poor cost of estimation, politicians and private individuals tend to embark on projects without employing service of experts or do not follow expert advice if they even decide to use this expert service of expert. Second one here, say corruption is central to most abandoned public projects. Another one again, say abandonment is also traced to lack of continuity. New regime tend to abandon contracts awarded by their predecessor.
Exactly.
So what is the way forward? What they don't know is that if you want, like the way forward was also stated here in here, you say available data rather indicate that if these abandoned projects were completed, Nigeria would have been one of the most infrastructurally developed countries in Africa.
Imagine if the Abeokuta steel mill was completed, or the River State monorail project was completed.
Yes.
Nigeria would have been a better place. Imagine you wake up today and you hear that. How much are we owing China now? Imagine you wake up and they tell you that Nigeria has been sold to China. How will you feel?
I'll become citizen of China.
I have mixed feelings.
I'll become a Chinese.
Anyway,
as simple as that.
Anyway, we can read up on all these editorials on page 10 of the Veritas newspaper.
Yeah.
So that is it for this October editorial.
Yeah. So we will now go on a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello there. Do you have an upcoming event? Or would you love the services of a printing press? I know two brands you can trust. Florid System Printing Press and Catholic Social Communication Benin are your best bet to deliver top-notch services at a very affordable rate. Florid System Printing Press specializes on all kinds of printing, ranging from notebooks, jotters, calendars, magazines, flyers, banners, and much more. While Catholic Social Communication Benin offers distinct video and photo coverage services nationwide for any event, be it weddings, funerals, birthdays, conferences, and lots more. Florid System Printing Press and Catholic Social Communication Benin are located at number 30 and 34 Airport Road beside St. Paul's Catholic Church, Benin City. For bookings or business inquiries, kindly contact us on 070-4387-3298. 070-4387-3298. Hello there. Do you have an upcoming event? Or would you love the services of a printing press? I know two brands you can trust. Florid System Printing Press and Catholic Social Communication Benin are your best bet to deliver top-notch services at a very affordable rate. Florid System Printing Press specializes on all kinds of printing, ranging from notebooks, jotters, calendars, magazines, flyers, banners, and much more. While Catholic Social Communication Benin offers distinct video and photo coverage services nationwide for any event, be it weddings, funerals, birthdays, conferences, and lots more. Florid System Printing Press and Catholic Social Communication Benin are located at number 30 and 34 Airport Road beside St. Paul's Catholic Church, Benin City. For bookings or business inquiries, kindly contact us on 070-4387-3298. 070-4387-3298.
Know that just as with news stories on sport, religion, politics, business, entertainment, we also have goodwill messages and pictures of events, important events that took place in the Diocese of Benin City. So we'll be heading down to those pages now. On page 12 and page 13, we have scenes from the Saint First ceremony of the former assistant parish priest of St. Peter Catholic Church, Second Obo, Reverend Father Jude. So this contains the pictures of the St. First ceremony of the former assistant parish priest and the welcoming of the new parish priest and the assistant parish priest. That's on page 12 of the Veritas newspaper. And then on page 13, we have scenes from the 152nd National Laity NEC meeting hosted by the Archdiocese of Benin City. So we'll now move down to page 22 of the Veritas newspaper. Here we have 2023 CMON Archdiocesan Annual Thanksgiving and Evangelization Fundraising at Blessed Tansy Catholic Church. So this is sponsored by CMO Archdiocese of Benin City. Also on page 23, we have Catholic Women Organization Archdiocese of Benin City is sending in congratulatory message to Very Reverend Father Dr. Michael Yanafo on his silver jubilee as a priest in the Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City. So we say congratulations to them, to Father Mike. And then we move down to page 26. We also have congratulatory message from Lady Josephine Eju and Mrs. Judith. So they are sending a congratulatory message to their new assistant parish priest and the parish priest, Reverend Father Daniel Yangbe and Reverend Father Alex Ejiofor on that page. We also have on page 27 scenes from the burial ceremony of late Very Reverend Father Felix Onwankwo Chinago. So we have photos on that. So we'll now move down to page 30 and 31 of the Veritas newspaper. Here we have felicitations from Professor Klassen and Professor Mrs. Edema JP. They are sending in felicitations to Very Reverend Father Augustine Ehige as he celebrates his 33 years in the priesthood in the Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City. We say congratulations to Father Ehige on that. And also on page 31, we have Requiem Mass for the soul of late Nze Aloysius. And this took place at St. Teresa Parish, Benin City in Pictures, and is sponsored by Reverend Father Sistus. So that is on the congratulatory message that appeared on some of them that appeared on the Veritas newspaper. So we'll now move down to page 2 of the Veritas newspaper. Here we have faces of some priests for the month of September. Do not forget, last edition, which is September edition, we did not put the pictures of the priests because of the priestly ordination. So the newly ordained priest pictures appeared on that page. So now we now attach that of faces of the priests of September and that of October. So I'll just read out their names for our hearing. We have for the faces of some priests for the month of September, we have Right Reverend Monsignor Paul Eno, Very Reverend Father Dr. Augustine Ehige, Very Reverend Father Jude Egbuna, Very Reverend Father Palmer Ikpomosa, Reverend Father John Edosawan, Reverend Father Alfred Agbolahan, and Reverend Father Romanos Mbakwe. Faces of some priests for the month of October, we have Reverend Father Isaac Igbe, Reverend Father Thomas Salami, Very Reverend Father Dr. Michael Yanafo, Reverend Father Andrew Obiyan, Reverend Father Jonas Wiwu, Reverend Father Raymond Ikponwomba, Very Reverend Father Anthony Ekaisomi, Very Reverend Father Andrew Ovieloba, Reverend Father Jude Ayemere, Reverend Father James Chima, Reverend Father Alexander Ifeanyi Ejiofor, Reverend Father Donatus Onumechi, Reverend Father Phillips Ume. So those are the priests, faces of the priests in this October edition. So we'll now move down to Kosi. Kosi will let us in on the columns and the articles that appeared on the Veritas newspaper.
Yes. As you all know, or at least some of our old followers here, we have various columns for various sets of people. There are columns for youth, there are columns for children, there are columns for adults, old people. Generally, there are columns for the faith of the church. There are columns of children. There are columns for children. So this paper is not just for the older people. Youths can read it. Children can also read it. There are columns, folklore columns, where you can read up on folklore tales. There are also columns that feature fathers of the church. founding fathers of the church. And generally, there are columns for Marian talks that talks about Mary and everything in general. Anyway, so once you get the paper, you can see everything you need there.
Okay, thank you, Jose, on that. So now we'll move down to the back page of the Veritas newspaper where we have the Sport Extra news on sports. And today we are having a sports analyst in the person of Oscar Edion, who will be letting us in on the recent events about sports in Nigeria and even beyond. Oscar, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, Gloria. A lovely afternoon to you, Kosi.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
So, international friendlies. Pesero is unhappy with his team display. So, why is Pesero not happy with the team's display at the friendly match yesterday against Mozambique?
Yes. It was not because the team he selected was not the team that he was expecting. The result he got was not the result that he was expecting to get at that point. Nigeria actually defeated Mozambique by 3-2 on international friendly in Portugal yesterday, which is recently. So he was expecting some good result from his team he have selected, which peradventure did not go the way he has hoped to be. So we have some lapses in that game, which by the future, which is called there's upcoming AFCON communication that is coming, which is in next year, January. So people are eager for the Super Eagles that we will know right from the subsidiary of those days. So the team, they are very talented. Don't cut me short. They are very talented. They are very good, but recently, the way their performance is not seen to be right again, guys. Because they played the Saudi Arabia's recently, which end up in a 2-2 draw. So we have a lot of stars in that team. The Victor Osimhen, the Lukman of the Atalanta. So we have attackers everywhere. We have good finishers. But at the end of the day, the display was not seen to write on about. So it was not happy with the display of because these are what we call teams that Nigeria on a very good day is supposed to have dismantled, supposed to have destroyed. You understand? So when getting this type of result, a 3-2 against Nigeria, when they even took the lead in Portugal yesterday, so fans are not happy, and there's a great call on our goalkeepers. We have a good goalkeepers in our local league, but he feel reluctant that he will go to the results, which Nigerians have been complaining that these keepers are not up to standard. So he's not happy with the performance. And Nigerians, we are eager for a good performance in the AFCON if Nigeria will be able to have a chance of winning our third Africa Cup of Nations, which is coming up next year in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We hope that they will do perfectly well in Abidjan too.
We hope so.
So we've already said that Bendel Insurance seem like they are in good form.
And that is a team that is giving us strength now.
What can possibly be their secret?
Bendel Insurance is a team to beat. I must tell you, they are very good. They are in very good form. Meaning they lost in the CAF Confederation Cup recently, but we know they played their Morocco counterparts, which they won here, which they drew here 2-2 in Samuel Bonina Stadium. But going forward to the Moroccan team, going away playing these teams are very difficult sometimes. So they try their best. They're able to exercise what they can do. But at the league, we're talking about the league, they're in a very good form. They played the Shooting Stars recently. They won 2-0. They played Plateau United in the Samuel Bonina Stadium. They are able to bring some good results. So they are on top of the league. So they are in a very good form. They have given them everything they need to function, anything they need to be on the right peg. So they are in a very good form. So I'll be talking on Pesero must select its team for the Africa Cup of Nations. I was still talking about the Pisteros, which is the gaffer of the Super Eagles. An analyst was saying that Pistero must be allowed to select its team for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations, which everybody are eager for, that he should select the proper team that will do justice to the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. So that's how it is. We pray that the Super Eagles will perform on the next Africa Cup of Nations. That is the thing that gives us joy right now in this country. Many things in this country have been.
Yes, Oscar. Thank you, but it's not all about prayers. This is sports. You train for sports.
And we train in sport, but
Yes.
we need to see
Yes,
there's
I
everything
feel you.
in-
I understand
have to
you.
be
So
very
that
good
is
speech.
the end of our review for October edition. So, but before we let you go, I have to remind you that we can advertise your products, we can advertise your services on our paper, but at a very affordable price, very affordable rate. And you can contact us for your product adverts, for your change of names, for if you want to publicize your wedding ceremonies, your